4-4-2, 4-2-4, or just a historical reference? You decide. This one is called the Modern Target Man version 2. Now, there is another version, there's several other versions. One of them was from 2021 for another FM, but called a 4-4-2 Modern Target Man by the same creator. So, 4-4-2, the only differences in that one in the 2021 season was that the two sides, I mean, there are some other differences, but these four were attacking instead of just three supports in an attack. But they called it a 4-4-2. I'm calling it a 4-2-4. You call it whatever you want. But we're going to check it out, as usual, in a holiday sim with our three teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and our championship side of Ipswich Town. So with all that said, let's just dive into the Premier League and see what happened. Well, Liverpool looking pretty nice, topping the league by a whopping 8 points. Aston Villa on the point side is more on the average side, but still, goals look pretty good. Domestic cups for Liverpool, they get to the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, but losing out in penalties to Wolves. They get to the FA Cup final, beating Ipswich Town 1-0. So that looks pretty interesting. Unfortunately, no trophy number 3 this season. Europa League final, they get there, but lose out to Copenhagen 1-0. So yeah, overall, 2 trophies, a runners-up medal, not a bad season at all. And yeah, squad-wise, Green, a little bit average or maybe even less than average, but still, it's there. 28 goals for Nunez, Jota with 25, 23 for Gakpo, assists 19 for Szoboszlai, 14 for Nunez, and then average rating, Salah gets the 7-4-1. However, if you look, he's only got 16 appearances. He was out for over half the season. So 7-3-1 goes to Nunez. Aston Villa, switching it up, they only get to the Carabao Cup 4th round. So 1-2 loss to Crystal Palace. The FA Cup quarters, they lose out to Newcastle 0-1. However, they have a phenomenal run in the Europa Conference League, getting to the final, beating Eintracht Frankfurt 5-1. So yeah, overall, not a bad season. Winners of the Conference League, 3rd place in the Premier League, Champions League next season. I'd take it. Squad-wise, yeah, I mean, they've got some green. They never usually have a lot. But goals, 24 for Diaby, Douglas Luiz with 17, 15 assists for John McGinn, Luiz was 14, as does Leon Bailey. And then average rating, well, Sane gets in there, but Diaby with the tops for the full-timer list. But now, just to show their injuries as well, they've got a lot. Tyrone Mings was out for most of the season. Same with Buendia. Moreno over half the season. So yeah, this one can hurt your legs a little. Data Hubs, Liverpool looking phenomenal attacking and defensively. I mean, that's some big numbers right there. Goals per game, 2.63. We've seen higher, but still not bad. 0.53 conceded, 0.63 XG against, through the roofs in non-penalty expected goals per 90, and shots per game as usual. Aston Villa looking pretty nice themselves. I mean, down in a couple of numbers where they usually excel, but still not bad. Defensively, they definitely have, the conceded per game is a little low for them. But 2.32 goals per game, 1.24 conceded, 1.06 XG against. Premier League stats, 2.37 points per game for Liverpool in first, Villa in third with 2.03. Most goals, a flat 100. Very nice job for Liverpool. Aston Villa doing a great job with 88 themselves. Fewer shots against in first for Liverpool, 225. Villa with 332. Most possession, 8th place. Liverpool with 51%. Most dribbles made. Villa in 4th with 701. Liverpool in 6th with 670. And most shots for first and second with 615 down to 536. But now clearly Ipswich Town's going to do a phenomenal job themselves, right? Well, yeah, of course. 111 points, 13 points above Leeds in second place, 122 goals. Again, it's not the highest. 116 for Norwich is pretty nice themselves, but it did a good job. But now this is the one I wanted to see. They've done a fantastic job. They've got to the Carabao Cup final, losing out to Chelsea 1-2. They beat them in the FA Cup 5th round, though. Beat Leeds, Arsenal. They get to Liverpool using the same tactic and only lose out 0-1 in the FA Cup. That is an amazing domestic cup season right there. I mean, yes, we've seen them win either of these trophies before, but still, 2 runners-up, championship winners, getting to the Premier League next season. I'm pretty amazed at that. And yet only 4 in the green. I wonder what their injury history looks like. But 35 goals for George Hurst, Chaplin with 14, assists 20 for Leif Davis, Wes Burns with 16, and then average rating, George Hurst gets the tops with 733. But if we look at their medical center, they actually don't do too badly. Championship stats. We are sitting in first place with 2.41 points per game, better than our Premier League sides. Most goals, though, in second with 122. That is after playoff promotion spots. and Norwich got a lot in there apparently. Fewest shots against though in first with 308, most dribbles made in fifth with 782, and most shots for in second, interestingly enough, with 665. So tactics. Let's take a look at this 4-4-2, 4-2-4, whatever you want to call it. Sweeper, keeper, and defend is where we start. Wingbacks on the left and the right in attack with ball-playing defenders in the central spots. We have a Segundo Volante in support next to a DM in support. Inside forward in support on both sides, you get a complete forward in support up front next to an advanced forward in attack. Balanced mentality in possession, attacking with the standard approach play is pass into space. Underlap on the left and the right, focus play down the left and the right, play out of defense. Passing directness is shorter, tempo is higher, mix crosses and run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly and roll it out. And out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent your goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, and step up more. So overall, how did it do for our three teams? I mean, it's a 4-2-4. That's what I'm going to call it, and it did very well. As usual, the goals aren't 100% there, but then again, you're on a balanced mentality, so you're kind of sitting back. You have some support players up front instead of a lot of the attacking players that you usually get. But Liverpool doing a fantastic job as well. Aston Villa on 77 points definitely could have done a little bit better. As I always say, if you take control of this, you could do a lot better than you did here. And again, Liverpool and Aston Villa had some big injuries, so keep that in check, and you could do even better on a holiday sim too. But at least here, it did very well, as usual, as you'd expect. So that's it for me, Sefi and FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.